So on the Fab Five song, you had that line, "Scar on my face, but I'm not Al Pacino."
Mm-hmm.
So the scar on your face, how did you get that?
I was 16, 17 years old, and I had a fight with a grown ass 32, 33-year-old nigga with muscles. And I kind of beat brakes off him. But he cut me in the process. Like when the fight got sloppy after a while. Like he wasn't, like I had reach advantage and shit. I was young. I used to be fast than a motherfucker. Trust me. Like I'm old now. I don't know what I'm saying. I ain't advocating my speed right now, but I used to be a fast nigga, and I was kind of, stopping and popping the nigga all over the place until the fight, and me at 30, I'm not, as a grown man, I'm not letting no little nigga beat me up. After the fight, I noticed I was bleeding. I didn't even know I was cut. You understand what I'm saying? So I ran back for part 2, and then I spent all the way off, because this ain't the first time I've ever been cut. I know from prior experience, I know that you can't be too hyper and doing too much when you're losing a lot of blood, because you get dizzy, woozy, pass out, throw up, all kind of this, that, and the third. I can't really tell you how I got cut or what I got cut with. That's just how it happened. And I never went to the hospital that night because I was too busy figuring out where this nigga lived, and I was gonna go to his block that night. But that never happened, you know what I'm saying? And also, I had been cut in the face before as a younger. Like this Brownsville was some cut. You understand what I'm saying? Before you could get a gun, you got a razor. And I did I was in the shits, but I had got cut before, and it wasn't a good cut. You know what I'm saying? It was like, cause the shit completely healed up. You can't see no traces of it. So when I got this cut, I thought it was gonna be the same. I'm like, fuck it, this shit don't look that bad. I'm going to this nigga crib. I ain't going to no fucking hospital. I'm going to this nigga crib tonight. That was how, you know what I'm saying? And again, that wasn't my drama. I was defending a little nigga from my building that, it spilled into, a later altercation between me and this dude.
So you and Sean Price are close.
Yeah.
You get introduced to Buckshot, Black Moon, and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Boot Camp Clik kind of starts to form, right?
The Boot Camp Clik was forming before we got introduced to Buckshot. Like I said, all members, well, Heltah Skeltah and Smith and Wesson, like we was all DCEPs. But and to be real with you, I may have like Tech and Steel fucked with Ruck before me, because they went to the same high school. I knew Ruck as a child because my mother and his mother were friends. You understand? So I knew him. I was at Ruck's 11th birthday party. That would have made me 9 years old. You know what I mean? It was a surprise party. He came in the crib, and this nigga had a job already. This nigga came in the crib, and not no bullshit paper route job. This nigga was doing real work. This nigga looked like he was dirty. He looked like a fucking building fell on him and shit. He came in the crib, nigga yelled, "Surprise!" He said some funny shit then, and just walked in the back, got his shit cleaned up, and came back out and partied. Them niggas was already friends with son. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, not then. Still, and Ruck might have been friends already back then, but Tech came in high school. But as far as we started forming, the boot camp started forming in high school while we were in high school. You know what I mean? And the thing was, Still used to always go off and do his secret shit with Buckshot. We didn't know Buck yet, but we knew he had some other rap friends that he used to rock with sometimes and shit. And, when I was locked up during that 6 months, I watched the video for Who Got the Props, which was already out before I went to jail. You understand? I'm watching the video, and I recognize Five. I done seen this video already 100 times before I got locked up, right? I see 5 Feet Accelerator in the video. Now Five, I know, because Five got family in my projects. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brolo and Miss Letha and Shell. He's always had family in my projects, and what I did know was when Steel would go sneaking off to be with his other with his other rap friends and shit, that Five used to come with him. That used to come back to the block with him every once in a while. So when I was looking, I'm in the day room that I convinced all these older niggas, I was the youngest nigga in the jail at the time, in the dorm, convinced all these older niggas to give me Friday on the TV. And I'm looking at this video that I've seen 100 times already. And then I recognized Five. At that moment, I knew my life was different.
Okay, and was Heltah Skeltah a group at this point or no?
Kind of. Like we was both too proud to be, it just, we should be a group. Like, I mean, like it just felt corny, I think, to both of us, you understand what I'm saying? But when I got locked up, and plus I had a partner, and Ruck kind of had a partner, I felt like, we just wasn't getting too far with our partner. Like, we just wasn't no beef. Niggas just wasn't on the same page. My first partner was a female. It was my cousin, shout out to Lady Champagne. I thought this was going, first duo, male and female and shit, and she was raw. You understand what I'm saying? But she also was part of another group of all girls, and it took away a lot of her focus. You know what I'm saying? Ruck had a partner named Haz, a low-life nigga from MG over there in Brownsville. But I don't know what the situation over there was, but, when I got locked up, though, it was like everything else seemed to fizzle away. And one day when I spoke to Son, he was like, yo, I'm on the phone. I would only call Ruck once a month while I was locked up because this nigga was too hilarious. And he was the type of nigga that, I would be laughing out loud throughout the whole fucking dorm. I could only do that once. And that once a month would give me laughs throughout the rest of the month. I was the nigga sitting in there laughing to himself. Niggas don't know what you laughing at and shit. I'm like, yo, my man crazy. I wasn't even on the phone. That was last week. You understand what I'm saying? But when I came home, that was it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, it's gonna be us, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We get home, fuck this shit, son. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, nigga. But I knew that. But that's what I was plotting. Like from the second I discovered Ruck, I said the same thing I said about Steele when I discovered him. I was like, no, I'm fucking with that right there. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I remember at one point, Dre and Ice Cube were supposed to have a project called Heltah Skeltah.
Yeah, we was nervous about that. We didn't like the idea of that.
Okay. No, so were you guys already called yourself Heltah Skeltah before that,
yes,
or after that, or
yes,
what?
Yes, we were already. What year was that?
I'm not quite sure. It was all like the 90s, early 90s, mid-90s.
We formed, originally we had another group name, but we changed that quick. Ruck, one day I just walked around, I walked up, Ruck was like, yo, Heltah Skeltah. Like, what's that? It's like our new name. I'm like, what the fuck is that? He explained it to me. I was like, yeah, let's run with it. And it was that. We never spoke the other name again. So don't ask.
Well, so you guys first showed up on the Smith & Wesson album, The Shining.
Yeah, I think so. Either that or the New Jersey Drive soundtrack. I don't know which one actually came first. I don't know the chronological order, but I know we probably, matter of fact, I don't remember which one we recorded first. I think we might have recorded Heads Ain't Ready first. Because that shit was in Special Ed crib in the studio, Dollar Cab Lab. He had a studio in Brooklyn back in the days. And that's where we first recorded Heads Ain't Ready.
So you guys show up on that, and then you guys come out with your own album, The Nocturnal.
Yes.
Where you guys are hanging upside down.
Yes.
Like bats?
Yes.
I assume that was the reason behind it.
Yes. That was my idea. I came up with that whole shit.
Okay. How did it feel to finally have your own album out?
It was dope. Like, it was a little bit nerve-wracking. Not really nerve-wracking. I felt anxious and shit, but like, I didn't really feel like a rapper yet. Like, it didn't all the way sing, because it was always a rough road for us. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't never, we ain't never have a big budget and, that major label pampering. You understand what I'm saying? We had to a certain extent, but it wasn't never that easy for us. We always had to struggle. So it always felt like a fight to get radio, video, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We never sold platinum or gold, shit like that. It always seemed like a struggle. When my album came out, it's like, my man's already got albums out, you know what I'm saying? And I'm basing it off of their shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm like, I never felt like I was that nigga, like we that large, cause we ain't have the record sales and shit to support that theory. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was based on your records. You went gold and you went platinum, you was that nigga back then. Now it don't matter as much, you know what I'm saying?
So Lord Jamar produced on that album?
Yeah, he produced the intro. Yeah.
Dope.
I
Dope.
forget
That's
that.
what
Like, I had forgot that for years. You understand what I'm saying? Then one day it just dawned on me. I'm like, word. Yeah, he did.
So the album, I think, sold 250,000.
Nocturnal, I think more, but whatever, yeah, something like that.
Okay, which is, I mean, that's a nice chunk. I mean,
I guess,
I
but
bought
when
the
you got
album.
niggas going when all your peers are going gold and platinum, like, understand, Mobb Deep was on, Havoc is on Into the Stage. He's on You the Man. Like, Mobb Deep came in the game around that time. Buckshot was in the game before Wu-Tang was. Maybe not before RZA or GZA, but before Wu-Tang was in the game, Buck was in the game. You understand what I'm saying? These was all of our, our fucking, what's the word? Our
Contemporaries.
contemporaries, yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Like, all these dudes we came in the game with, like, we seen a lot of these dudes go gold and go platinum and all of that, and we didn't. You know what I'm saying? And we trying to figure out, ask yourself a million questions. You could try to figure it out a whole bunch of different ways, but I mean, you could shoulda, coulda, woulda yourself to death, but at the end of the day, it just is what it is. So I didn't feel that, I started to feel that when we started recording, around the time we started recording Magnum Force.
Okay. And you guys may not have gone gold and platinum, but I feel like, and people use this term loosely in hip hop, movement. But the Boot Camp Clik was definitely a movement with a lot of projects, a lot of members, a lot of albums coming out, a lot of songs all over the mixtapes. Like, the Boot Camp Clik as a collective, I felt just made a really big impact in hip hop during that time.
Yeah, but it's like it's wiped from the record books. You know what I'm saying? It just seems that way. It's like, it seems that way. I mean, I look at the game and I see that, and I've been looking at patterns in the game, artists, of successful artists, and a lot of the artists that were successful in, like from the late '90s to the early 2000s, I feel like they never did it on their first coming. Pause. You know what I'm saying? They did it. They came out first. They took some bumps and scars. They disappeared, learned the game. They planned, plot, strategized, and they came back. And you know what I'm saying? And it was voila. And that's true for Jay-Z. It's true for DMX. It's true for 50 Cent. It's true for so many artists. You understand what I'm saying? Like that followed that same pattern. And I always felt like that. I looked at that and I felt like what we did as Boot Camp, that was just our first coming. You understand? We just happen to have had the best first coming ever. Of all our contemporaries, you understand what I'm saying? Nobody had a first coming as good as we did. So I always felt and hoped that on our second coming, or my second coming at least, that's why I never put out an album. I only put out mixtapes. You understand what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I always felt like my second coming was going to be and had to be great.
You guys formed Fab Five with OGC.
Yeah.
And you guys dropped La Flor, La Fla, La Skeltah.
Skeltah, yeah.
To this day, I have no idea what that means.
It don't mean nothing. It don't. I mean, La Flor means the flower in French.
Okay.
But that ain't have nothing to do with it. Skeltah was a word Strang made up. It's the Rang one that made that word up when we used to play. Remember when NBA Live first came out? It was Live 95. That was the first version of this 2K shit that came out. It was Live 95. But at the same time, like shortly after, it came out with a college version of it. It was called Coach K. And in Coach K, you could break the backboards. You could shatter the boards on that. And whenever Strang is one of the most competitive niggas you're going to ever meet in your life. Ever. He'll swallow his blood before he swallow his pride every time, right? Playing basketball, he's sports, play every sport. Trash talking, hard. Body, hard. You know what I'm saying? So whenever we playing Coach K and Strang, whenever he shattered the backboards on you, he would scream, "Let's go, Scott!" Just to dig under, just to get under your skin, Sometimes he would say Eskolshka, sometimes he would say Esposhpa. It didn't matter. It was just his celebration cry when he broke backboards on your bitch ass. You understand what I'm saying? And that was that. So when we was in the studio, Ruck just, we did the song, we laid all the vocals, and it was time to lay down the intro and the, or the hook, the intro and the outro, and Ruck just, Ruck being ruckus. Do some shit that don't make no sense, and we all run with it.
I mean, and honestly, like to me, I felt that was your best performance. Like those verses on that song, I felt was the standout in terms of me as a fan.
That's because you don't listen enough, man. You ain't listen hard enough, B. Like that shit was what do you call it? That shit was elementary right there. I mean, the thing is, simple is dope. A lot of people put too much on things. So simple is dope. That's why. It was Fab Five. Like I was like, all right, don't worry about the hook. I got the hook. I did the, what I'm saying, and I made it something familiar and something simple enough for everybody to catch on to. I mean, I picked the beat. We picked the beat because the beat was soft. You understand what I'm saying? And I know we spit hard, and because it seemed like we always had to fight with the radio and the video, we was always too hard. We was too something. We was too. You understand what I'm saying? So I was like, get the pretty beat. Get the soft beat, you know what I'm saying, to combat this fuckery we about to spit on it, you know what I'm saying? And that's how that went, you know what I mean? I'm like, try to keep it a little bit simple or whatever. You go first, you go second, whoop, lap, then, we going back to back, one of you. I did all that. All that came from my brain.
I mean, it ended up, simple or not, it ended up being one of your biggest songs.
No doubt.
If not the biggest song, what do you think?
I don't know. I tell you, I don't look at the numbers no more.
Definitely up there though.
Yes, it is.